Welcome to part 7 of the Calamity Trio in Dragon Ball Z. In the last part, we got through the fight against Frieza pretty quickly, mainly because I was pulling from the first Xenoverse game with the Frieza encounter. Anyways, we're gonna continue off from there. So, we start off in a field on Earth. Everybody was just teleported to Earth thanks to Dende making a wish on Porunga. As everyone's trying to get their bearings on what just happened, Anne is the first to realize that they are in fact on Earth because she can sense Chi-Chi. Meanwhile, Marcy hesitantly walks up to Sasha, who is exhausted not only after her battle against Frieza, but because of using the Calamity power. Sasha nods to Marcy to let Marcy know that it is okay to heal her, to which Marcy does. After Marcy heals her, Sasha tells her to heal a Vegeta who is still alive for being shot with Frieza's death beam, to which Marcy easily does. Sasha thanks Marcy and goes to Vegeta to try to check up with them. When Marcy sees that Sasha isn't going to want to talk to her, she looks over to Anne, who is talking to Gohan and Bulma. Marcy feels alone at the moment, so she goes over to check on the Grand Elder. Afterwards, everything starts playing out once again similarly to the main story. From Goku finishing off Frieza, to his supposed death on Namek, to everyone being picked up by Bulma's dad, and the Grand Elder passing away. As everyone's getting settled, Sasha and Marcy stays at Capsule Corp for a little bit. Sasha stays here working as a mechanic, so she doesn't feel like a freeloader, but she also asks Bulma to make the gravity chamber that Goku used to train on the way to Namek. She asks Bulma this because just like in the original, Vegeta takes the ship to fly off in search of Goku. Marcy doesn't really stay too long because she kind of feels uncomfortable around Sasha. There's just an air around them that Marcy can't really take. So she only stays for a little bit, getting stuff like a portable game console and just heads out into the wilderness, where she ends up meeting with Piccolo, who she keeps referring to as Nail. The Piccolo side of him doesn't know who Marcy is, but the Nail side does. So Piccolo lets Marcy stay with them. One day, after all the wish made on the Namekian Dragon Ball, Sasha feels it's time to start searching for the Dragon Balls on Earth, so that she, Marcy, and Anne can go back home. However, Anne puts a stop to that plan completely. Sasha is surprised by this, but Anne is firm, saying that they will wait for Goku to come back. Once he's back, then they can make the wish. Sasha tries to argue, but Anne is not having any of it. She looks at Sasha dead in the eyes. We are not leaving. We are gonna wait for Goku to get back, and then we are leaving. End of discussion, Sasha. And the look that Anne is giving her scares her enough to take a step back. And so, they wait for the 2 years it takes for Goku to get back. During the 2 years, Gohan is noticing that Anne is not her usual self, and this concerns him very much. Anne is his big sister, and she always had this smile and radiant energy on her. But ever since the Saiyan attack, Anne's usual demeanor has been slowly going away. He tries talking to her, but Anne tells him that this is more for grown-up stuff and that he'll understand when he's older. Which honestly kind of annoys Gohan. He wants to help his big sister, but she's not letting him. So he goes to Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi does notice this change in Anne's demeanor as well. She was gonna wait for Anne to come to her, but since Gohan is asking Chi-Chi for help, Chi-Chi decides to talk to Anne. Anne explains that ever since Sasha came back, things just been different. She always held out some hope in her heart for Sasha, but the rational side of her was telling her that Sasha's shown her true colors and that it's safe not to be associated with her. She could look past it for the mission on Namek, because they both had a common enemy. And her fight with the Ginyu Force honestly showed her that they still have that connection, which Anne was really glad about. But now Marcy has shown her true colors. Marcy was the reason why they're all here. Marcy is the reason why they were separated for about 4 years. Why she was separated from her parents. And why she was almost killed multiple times. Anne wants to hate Marcy, she really does, but her heart is telling her not to. She had a lot of time to think about her girls before they reunited. And every time she thought about them, her heart will always yearn for them. Even now in this situation, it still yearns for them. But her mind and rational side is telling her not to go to them. She should be angry with them. She should hate them. But she doesn't. She just doesn't know why. Chi-Chi doesn't know what to say. The closest thing she had was just a sense of longing in her heart, and that was for Goku when she was younger. But these other conflicting emotions, Chi-Chi doesn't really know about it. She tries her best with Anne, basically telling her that a longing was something that she felt too. After all, she fell in love with Goku. For the years that they spent apart when they were kids, her heart yearned for him. Now that Goku's gone right now, it still yearns for him. She would guess that Anne is in love with her girls, but she isn't 100% sure. As for these conflicting emotions, honestly, the fact that she feels that she should hate them is reasonable. They betrayed her trust. This is something that Anne can't really deal with by herself, nor can Chi-Chi or anyone else can help Anne figure out. She needs to talk with her friends. But Anne feels that she burnt that bridge a bit. After all, she started using Sasha's words against them. The end of the discussion line, that was basically Sasha's catchphrase. Chi-Chi tells her that it'll take time, it's not going to be easy, but that's what friends are for. Talk to them. And after thinking for a bit, Anne tells her that maybe it's too late. She already made the executive decision to not let them go home. After a moment of silence, she asked Chi-Chi, was it right for her to prevent them from going home, just so Gohan won't have two missing family members? Chi-Chi can't give her a definitive answer for that, which isn't what Anne wanted to hear, but she knows she needed to hear that. And so for the remaining of the 2 years, everything starts playing out similar to how it does in the original anime. Marcy training under Piccolo, who she calls Nail, Sasha working as a mechanic at Capsule Corp, as well as getting the Saiyan insignia tattooed on her, and Anne opening up a small Thai-to-go restaurant, which is honestly a huge hit at Orange Star City. And besides all that, like I said, everything stays exactly the same as it does in the original anime. From Vegeta coming back, to Frieza's coming back, to everyone planning to go and attack Frieza, to future Trunks taking care of Frieza, and letting everyone follow him to the spot where Goku's gonna land. As everyone is waiting for Goku to land, the girls are noticing that Trunks is eyeing them. Sasha tries to play it off as he's interested in her, but Trunks doesn't show any signs of that. Anne and Marcy just ignore them, with Marcy playing on the handheld console that she has. However, Bulma notices when Trunks is staring at the girls, he seems to be staring at them with caution. When Goku lands back on Earth, everything once again starts playing out the same. However, the major difference is Trunks' warning. Trunks doesn't warn Goku about the upcoming android threat with Dr. Gero. Trunks warns Goku about a different threat that's coming to Earth. In 4 years, Earth will be invaded by an army of bulky robots. Now, robots are something that they can handle, however, it's the one leading the robots that are the cause of the main trouble. This army seems to be only interested in extracting the resources on the planet. During one of the missions to destroy the facility, they tried to hack and steal information from them, but the language that the information is in isn't anything like that on Earth. With no clear way to try to translate it, they don't know why they're doing this. They only know what they're doing. Goku asks what happened to everybody, but Trunks says that everyone was killed in the invasion. There were just too many of them. They were able to take out a huge chunk of the army, but the sheer number ended up overwhelming everybody. The only one to survive was him, Gohan, and Bulma. This catches Goku by surprise. He asks what happened to him, but just like in the original story, Goku dies of a heart virus 2 years before the events happen. Goku asks what about Anne and her friends. He asks if they died in the invasion or did they end up going back home. That's the thing, Goku. The ones that are leading the invasion is them. And that is where we're going to end off this part. So, what did you think about this ending? Honestly, I had this one in mind for so long. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Let me hear what you gotta say down in the comments. And I will see you later, whatever I make. Bye!